I was trying to reuse the vertical support for the existing table. So the U-bolt goes through and actually hooks into the floor support for the vertical support of the inside table, cabin table. And I happen to have another table available to me, so I then cut the other vertical support short, and then just because I had it on there already, reused the same mech for attaching it to the new supports for the cockpit table. It's not light. On the underside, you'll see I got these off Amazon, marine, I don't know, marine hinges, I think they're called. 1, 2, 3, 4 of those. And then I got 3/4 inch M10 screws to fasten to the underside of the existing table. 1.5 inch long screws because I doubled up on the 8mm plywood here. And that allows you, you'll see why in a second. So when you want to, let's take this table apart here. So first off, you don't have to take this off, you just loosen it. And okay, that should come right out. That pops out of the bottom, rests on there. Leave that here for the time being. Undo the other side. Actually, you know what? Yeah, undo the other side. Oop, okay, as you see, it pops right out and falls down. This you can leave on here. And then what you want to do is take off the 2 wing nuts here, 2 wing nuts here. I'm going to put the phone down and do that. Once you've done that, this piece here comes off. Once I'm on the boat, you'll see why I had to create a fancy piece for the front facing member, and it's because I have a traveler that requires some clearance. So you'll see that when it's installed. That gets set aside. You do the same thing on the other side, so lift this back up. As you can see, this sits back in place. Take the wing nuts out of the way, and this sits nice and flat. And then what you do, take the wing nuts out of the other side. How many times have I said wing nut in this video? All right, take that out, just don't lose the washer. I don't know if you need the washer, but anyway. Okay, out she goes. Take that down, pull this out. This is the second piece. U-bolt still attached. Take the screw out, screw aside, and as you'll see, because of the fact that I doubled up on that plywood, I can nicely rest this over top of this. Same with the other side. This rests nicely over top of this. I had some, this is looking ugly, but it works. Because it's 8mm plywood, I didn't want to just use wood screws to screw through. So I used nuts, but then the nuts obviously banged up against the underside of the wood, so I roughly carved that out. Hopefully you do a better job than I did. That allows this to sit right down. There you go. Same on the other side. Okay, and then all you've got in addition to that is this piece and this piece. That's it. So all you're having to store on the boat is this and all your wing nuts and screws. There you go. All right, and here's the bungee system. So eyelets, 4 eyelets on one side. I just cut some eyelets in half, you see what I mean there, and put those on the other. So when you want to store the table, this is what it'll look like. When you want to use the table, lift this off, lift this off, lift this off. I guess, you know, do what you like with this. And then you can use the table when it's time to store. Hook it back on. Actually, you probably want to hook the center back on first. And yeah, there we go. Balance it out. It's good. And lift it. And it holds. Woohoo! Ready for some boating. And here it is, installed in the boat. So, you know, arguably maybe on the high side, but at least when you sit down, nobody's going to be banging the drinks and such. You can see that my Traveler setup has the main sheet interfering a little bit with the table, so, you know, you could easily take the block off if you don't want it to be rubbing, but it's certainly not causing any grief. I did not cut the ends thin enough, so the seat is kind of resting on that on one side. It seems to be fine on the other, but that's not the end of the world. Other than that, it clears my, you'll see what I mean. I had to clear that console assembly in the middle of the Traveler, and that's why that front support jogs up then back down again. But other than that, I'm pretty happy with this. So sitting down inside, you can see you got loads of room for the legs to come up if you need to move around. I'd say for me, I'm 5'11". The table is lined up with underside of my pectorals, let's say, mid-chest. So that's that.